Welcome to the Sales Lab.
Yeah, this idea of this notion of curiosity being important comes up an awful lot in these conversations and in other conversations. And
I guess at the base, the curiosity is, are not only are you curious, but are you willing to use that curiosity to form the next good question? Are you willing to go deeper? Not just are you fascinated by watching a pencil get made, but are you willing to stay there and go, hey, you skimmed over this, but that graphite mix, can you go in deeper? The type of wood? Does the resin content matter? This yellow paint? How open are you to that? Does it have to be FDA because people are chewing on it? I mean, these are questions that, sound silly, but you have to ask them. And it leads you towards different products on our line card that can answer a question.
How often do you find yourself asking a question and then it comes out of your mouth and you're thinking, that maybe that is a silly question? Does that ever happen?
Frequently. I mean, shockingly frequently. I'm terrified of what this kid Drew is going to go back to Cleveland and divulge the questions that I asked in front of customers. But it really is. I don't want to say there's no stupid questions, but when you're talking about a silicone gasket that's going into the canopy of an F-22 or an F-35, jet, I'm sorry, I got to ask. I got to know how this works. I have to know the compressive strength, the rebound, how long does this have to last? At what temperatures are you going to see? Because it's going to sit in the Mojave Desert. It's going to get really hot, and then you're going to fly to what is basically low Earth orbit where it's very cold. How are we addressing this? Those are questions that, for the people that work in that industry, they're like rolling their eyes, like, ugh, of course it works. Here's how. But I need to know that.
Yeah. Well, and you ask one question that somebody hasn't considered deliberately, and you could save them countless dollars. You could save them an awful lot of time if your curiosity leads you to. Because look, sometimes often the simplest questions that it's like when you ask somebody in an elevator, what do you do? Like, well, I don't know, I do like 50 things, and it's supposed to be a simple question, and yet sometimes we just skip them.
It's also the value in how you can ask that question. And one of the things that I always try and promote is that sense of self, finding out what your angle is. And your angle could be different from call to call, customer to customer, product line to product line, but setting yourself apart from the din of the masses. For everyone listening here, that intro musically was created by you, and it's awesome. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But to borrow from that, Metallica, you're familiar. Yeah?
I've heard of them, yeah.
You've heard of them? All right. Their first album, Kill 'Em All. Seminal moment in their career. Lars Ulrich is playing with standard time. It's not always 4/4. He plays with 7/8, and there's some discordance that at first you might find, what did this guy just ask me? Like, what just came out of this speaker? What am I hearing? But over time, you can appreciate that it stood out from the crowd, that it was different, that someone was willing to take Western canon of music and kind of, needle it a little bit and say, do we have to stay this way? From freaking, John Philip Sousa marches to, whatever pop songs we hear today that follow the same sort of rhythm. Are we able to challenge that? So I love being the person that's willing to go a little off script and challenge the way that the customer is thinking about whatever our topic is.